put together that urges the Senate Majority Leader to give up his post as this government shutdown looms over our country. But the Nevada Democrat is still blaming the Tea Party. He says it's their fault that nothing's gotten done for this budget battle. Take a look.
The Tea Party is driving what goes on in the House of Representatives, and we cannot do what they want done.
All right, let's bring in Utah Congressman Jason Chaffetz. He is one of those Republican lawmakers who signed that letter, and he joins me now. Good morning to you. Welcome.
Good morning, Martha.
Good morning. So why did you all write this letter?
Hey, it's time to get to business. The House Republicans have actually been doing what they're supposed to be doing, and we're calling upon Senator Reid to get the House Democrats to actually come to the table and actually propose something. We've passed several things here in the House. Everybody wants to avert a shutdown, but we're also going to have to deal with this debt crisis. That's what it's all about.
So any impact? You think the letter will have any impact at all on any of these negotiations or moving anything forward? Harry Reid's resignation? Unlikely.
Unlikely, but listen, we're trying to say, hey, we're very unified over here. We're not going to keep punting this problem down the road. That's what's been done in Congress's past. And for those of us that are new here, we want to get to business and get things done right now.
You know, yesterday, John Boehner and Harry Reid met with the president. Then the president came out after that. He seemed very dissatisfied with what was going on in that room. Your leader, John Boehner, is it your understanding that he was invited to the White House today?
I think that's happening, and then at 2 o'clock today, we have a conference-wide. All the House Republicans are gathered. My guess is we're obviously going to be talking about that subject as well.
But what about this meeting? You know, any sign? We know that the president is traveling this afternoon to Pennsylvania and New York, I believe. But the president said yesterday that he wants to, he's going to be available, that he wants to be in the room, wants to talk about this every day if necessary. And we're trying to figure out if there is going to be a meeting that gets squeezed in before he takes that trip. Any insight on that?
Well, I don't know. It sounds like a mixed message to me. I'm just one of the rank and file guys, but if he's traveling out of state but wants to be in the room, I don't know how that's going to work. But look, we have got to deal with this debt crisis. We've got to deal with the government shutdown. But there's nothing like a deadline to compel action, so that deadline's coming up.
Congressman, I'm curious what you think about the Tea Party. And Harry Reid basically says it's the Tea Party's fault that this whole thing is held up. And, of course, Tea Party, people who are in favor of the Tea Party's philosophy on all of this say good. That's exactly what we want to do. We want to see some serious change here. In terms of Speaker Boehner, has he been paid? Has he buckled to any extent to Tea Party's demands?
Hey, look, I think Speaker Boehner has done a fabulous job in representing us thus far, and we'll see what happens. The Tea Party is just a representation of America. These are just good old-fashioned Americans who are getting up off their chairs and want to be part of the solution, not part of the problem. So I applaud the quote-unquote Tea Party. It sounds to me like Senator Reid is actually taking some script from some poll to try to demonize the Tea Party, but these are just good old-fashioned Americans who want the right thing for their country because they recognize the country's off track. So I think it's a ridiculous approach. It doesn't help to solve the problem.
I'm curious what you're all talking about there in the House of Representatives in terms of where this may end up, because some of the word that we're getting from our folks who are covering the story for us on the Hill and at the White House is that Speaker Boehner wanted to go north of that 33 number up to maybe 41, and that he was told in that meeting yesterday that that is extremely unlikely, that he will get anything more than the 33 number. We saw the president yesterday said, that's where Boehner started on all of this, so why shouldn't he be happy with that?
No, look, the House Republicans have been very clear. We signed a pledge to America and said we were going to cut $100 billion and bring down spending to the 2008 levels, and that's what we're ultimately trying to do. That has been crystal clear even before the election, and the reason we have 87 freshman House Republicans is because the country spoke on this, and we feel like we've got a mandate to actually curb the spending and the debt crisis here in Washington, D.C.
Looks like we're in a tough spot. Doesn't look like we're getting anywhere as of right now on either side. Jason Chaffetz, Congressman, good to have you with us today from Utah.
Thanks.